Okay, so he just says to me, like, I'm the one called CAlvine. He's definitely one of your guides because I can feel it. And he's definitely with you for strength. He gives you a lot of strength. He had already started giving me information there. What he's wanting to talk to you about is like encouragement and strength and encouragement to do the things that you want to do. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, he's saying yes, to move more fully into that, to move more fully into the things that you want to do, and to have the courage to do that. Okay, because the courage, it lies within you already. It's just a case of you igniting it. It's like you bring it up to the surface, but it takes you to do that. Once it comes up to the surface, you'll be much more in flow with it. Okay. Because I very much feel like there's a lot of things that you want to do, but for whatever reason, you're holding back with these just now. It's like you're not, it's like you really, it's like I can feel a lot of pressure there within you. It's like you really want to do stuff, but for some reason, you're not allowing yourself to do that. And it's like there's this pressure building up inside of you, and it's like a bubble that's going to pop. Okay. So he's saying that to recognize that you can do these things, you can move in the direction you want to move. I feel like for you, I definitely feel like it's something to do with, I don't know exactly, it's something to do with like helping with disclosure or something along those lines, helping with channeling or something along those lines. Let's see. It's something to do with you starting some channel, like a YouTube channel, and starting to help to release information. I very much feel like that's a big part of what you're supposed to do, you know, what you're chosen to do. And for whatever reason, that's not happening just now. They're saying that he needs some encouragement, is what they just said. So one moment. Right, I just switched to another guide. I don't know who it is, but they started telling me that you in another lifetime. I don't know how many, but I know for one for sure you've done this in another lifetime, at least one where you've worked, where you've been on a planet where they were going through an ascension, and you were helping to do something similar to what you're going to do in this lifetime, where it's like disclosure of information. So they want you to know about that, because by knowing about it, you connect with it, and then it'll help it to manifest in this lifetime. Okay. Okay, because I can feel it's like there's people, there's individuals that you've made contracts with on a higher level, of course, but you've made contracts with certain people to help them. Where I feel like it's disclosure with you. Very much feel like it's disclosure. I very much feel like it's yeah. Anyway, I'll get back to that. But yeah, there's certain people that you've made contracts with, and it's like these are waiting for each other to do it. And then once both of you, it's going to happen synchronistically, where they're ready to disclose and you're ready to start releasing information, and it'll happen together at once. But I very much feel like this is about you. There's a lot of YouTube channels that have people who they disclose information about what the government are doing or something like this. And I feel like that's what something like that is what you are going to do. That's what I very much feel like it. It's like, I don't know how you feel about doing that sort of stuff. How does that sort of stuff excite you? Is that something that you're interested in doing, Mark?
I take it some way as something I maybe already started, but
okay, one moment. There's a dragon speaking again. He's talking about how you've got, like, I think he said this to you the last time, if I remember, but he's talking about you've got like a dragon heart, and that heart is like it's a very strong heart you've got, and you've got like a lot of you've got a very strong will. And when you start bringing that out, you're going to realize how powerful it is. Okay, but it's there. It's like it's there, and it's brewing up just now. So he's saying follow that and run with that. Okay, and embrace it, because that's okay. Because that's what your vibration is. It's part of your signature vibration. Is that dragon vibration. Okay. He's saying when you align with that, and then you'll find it easier to do that. I know you do a lot of work like that already. Okay, but he's saying he's saying like to delve further into that, and then you'll align more with that vibration, and it'll help you to achieve these things, to do these things. Okay. In some way, this is going to, if you follow this, it's going to develop into not just being like online stuff. It's going to be physical stuff that you're going to do where you are as well. I don't know if you ever do this, if you ever go out looking for UFOs, but that's what I feel like there's something there as well. And it's not just on your own. It's like a group doing some sort of group, some groupies together, going and doing like, going spotting UFOs, looking for UFOs and finding them, seeing them in the sky. I feel like that's something it's not right now, but that's something that's going to come where you stay, because there's going to start being a lot of activity there. Now they're saying something about, I don't know if you stay out by the country or if you stay out like close to nature, but now they're saying something about the Sasquatch. Now they're saying something about that where you stay, there's activity with that as well. Okay. They just say that that's something else you can look into if you want to. Right, okay, one moment. If there's any questions you've got, Mark, you can ask questions as well if you want to know about anything in particular.
Before I watch for any form of message, but that could come from any entity. I just we are 19 today. Yeah, April 17, 2 days ago, around 10:30 in the night. I just connect to the name of Afina or Afina. I can type if you wish.
Afig. Just one moment, Melcy.
Or Afina. I think it's seems like a phoenix, maybe.
Okay, one moment.
I type it.
What you're connecting with there, it's some sort of, at the beginning I felt like it's some sort of mythical creature, but it's no, we would regard it as being mythical, but it's not actually mythical, it's actually real. It's come to you for a certain reason. It's something to do with it. It's got a message, but it's also to do with the energy it carries. One moment. They're saying that the energy of it is very transformational, the energy that it brings, and it can instill that in people, it can instill transformation in people. So that was part of the reason that it came to you. But I had a message for you as well, okay? I'll channel this message for you now. So. They're saying, yes, you're strong and wise, old one. And there's many others that are like you as well. As you start to resonate more with yourself, you'll start to resonate more with these others. Because these are all you and these others are coming into balance with one another. These are others that you've chosen to have connections with in this lifetime. And it's others that, and these have chosen to work not together so much, but to work as one for the same goal. Okay. It says these others are carriers of information, and you're included in that. Okay. They say the information that you carry is sacred information, and it's information that's been carried throughout the ages. This relates to the dragons in some way. Oh, okay, one moment. They're saying it's because the dragons have been instilling information in you over the ages, okay? The dragons have been doing that. That's not all of the information that you carry, okay? There's other information also. I say there's information there from elemental lifetimes also that you're carrying, and you've decided to carry that information through to this lifetime to help with this ascension that's taking place. Now, the others that have the information is different from the information you have. Okay, let's see. They're saying it's different, but it's the same. It's like it's like you all have a piece to the jigsaw. Okay, so you all have different information, but when it's all put together, it all works together as one. Okay, so what it's saying is that these others, some of them you might meet, but you're probably not going to meet most of them. And I feel like there's around about, there's 8 of you is what I feel, okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to meet these people, okay? And if you do, I don't feel like it's going to be physical. It's not going to be a physical meeting. It would be more like somebody you meet online, okay? But I feel like with most of them, most of them you're not going to meet. Maybe one you will meet, okay? But the important thing is here that you've got information there that you're carrying that has to be released, okay? One moment. They're saying channel the dragons is what they're saying, and the information will come through in that way. But there's also elementals that you can channel as well. Elemental, one more, I'll find out about who that is. What they showed me is it's like an elemental wizard. I've never seen anything like this before, but it's like it's not so much a wizard, it's more like an elder, an elemental elder, okay? But they would be able to do things that we would regard as being like magic, okay? There are certain things that they understand. And they tell me this is why the witches learn a lot of their magic, if you want to call it that, from the elementals, because this is where they made their connection, okay? So, one moment. They're saying you carry a lot of that information in you, not just about the magic, but some of it is about magic. Sorry, there's other information on top of that as well about the elemental kingdom. Okay, their societies and the way that works, and that's important for you to release that, because that'll help you. That'll help others to connect with elementals. They're saying that the elementals and the dragons, they have got connections, and that's part of what you're doing, is you're bridging the gap between the elementals and the dragons with the information that you bring. Okay, if you notice, many people that are into the elementals, they'll be into dragons as well, and it's because it's all in the same. It's not in the same realm. It's like there is connections there. There is connections between them, okay? And people feel that intuitively, okay? What you can do is you can show people the connection that's there, okay? And I feel like there's information that you have on that. Okay, they're giving it now. There's information that you have there about the history of the elementals and the dragons working together. And there is a massive story to this. And you hold that information, not all of it, but you hold a good chunk of that information. And this is what they're wanting you to start working on, bringing this huge story out. Okay, it's like something that could be made into movies, a series of movies like Lord of the Rings. There's this massive story about the elementals and the dragons and the history of them. Okay, and you have carried that into this lifetime, and it's something that you can start to release. They're saying when you release that, it's going to create shifts in people, because there's many people on Earth now that are humans that were involved in that. There's something else there as well. There's something about closure to this as well. This brings, by you doing this, it somehow helps helps the elementals and the dragons as well. More the elementals for some reason. It helps the elementals more than it helps the dragons for some reason. I don't know why that is. You'd have to channel the story yourself to find out exactly why that is. But your assistant, this gives assistance to humans and the elementals. They're saying that there's still some of the relationships between the elementals and the dragons that are still, some of them are still a bit, how can I put it? They're still not on good terms with each other, some of them. Okay. And that's what this is going to do. It's going to help rebridge that gap that some of them have, some of the elementals have with the dragons. Okay. One moment. Okay, because they just showed me it now. And what they showed me is the whole of the elemental kingdom. Okay, there's some parts of it, and you can think of it like being like a building, like a grand building. Okay, and some parts of that building are like crumbling a bit. Some parts of it are like in disarray, but the other parts are like really well intact, and people live in the building and things like that. But there's other parts that are like that need to be fixed. And that's what you need to, that by you doing this, that's what's going to happen. It's like the elemental kingdom. There's parts of it that are still affected by this. And it's the energy of the entire elemental kingdom. There's a little bit of an imbalance because of that. Okay. By you doing this, it's going to heal that, and it's going to rebuild that until so that there's a better relationship there. It's to do with this history. It's to do with this whole history. I don't know exactly what happened because they're not telling me anything about that. I don't know what it is. They don't want me to say anything. But whatever happened, it created some problems within the elemental kingdom. They're still affecting the elemental kingdom today. But it's not all of it. Some of it was healed. Some of the relationships, so the dragons have good relations with some elementals, but there's some factions, if you want to call it that, or some groups of elementals that still do not like the dragons, and there's a bad relationship there. Yeah, they'll not let me feel about anything about the story. I'm trying to tap in sometimes to see if I can get information on why that is, but it's just not there. They won't give it to me. It's like blocked. They must want you to get it also. Okay. Now let's see what they say about this, about how to do this. There's information. Okay, so they're saying that when you bring this information out, there's information that you can, in this story, you're going to get information on the dragons as well. There's information there for like that you have about the different types of dragons, about the dragon societies, and how the different dragons operate. Okay. Some of the dragons, they're telling me this, that some of the dragons are good dragons, and some of the dragons are bad dragons, and some of the dragons that are bad dragons, okay, it's because of the type of dragon they are. They're saying that like the fire dragons, for example, some of the fire dragons turn negative, and it's because their energy, the fire dragons have to balance their energy. And sometimes it becomes, for some of the individuals that are fire dragons, they become unbalanced because they find their energy too overwhelming, and they become negative. Okay, there's other groups of dragons that help on keeping them in balance. They work with the ones that become out of balance, and they work on keeping them in balance. Okay, this is all part of the story. They're part of the bigger story of the dragons and the elementals together. Okay, that you have now. When you're given the story, you'll give information on that as well. You'll give information on the dragon societies and how they operate, because that has to be known to understand the whole story. Okay. There's some information there about the elemental kingdom as well and how the elemental kingdom works, but I feel like it's much, much more with you that you're going to disclose about the dragons, about the dragon kingdom, and how the dragon societies work. Okay. They're saying this is something that you're building up to just now. Okay, it's something that you're working up to releasing this information. You may not even realize that on a conscious level, but there is movement within you, your energy. It's moving up to doing this. Okay, I feel like some of it's going to come out in channelings for sure. You're going to channel some of this information. How you're going to share that information that you've channeled, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be if you're going to channel it in the way that I'm channeling now. If you're going to channel it more fully, where you just let them speak freely. If you're going to channel it in your own time and then write it all out, I'm not quite sure. The one that feels the strongest to me, the way that you're going to do it that feels the strongest to me, is you're going to put this into some types of books. It'll be written out and it'll be made into a very large, an epic story, which will have very many volumes to it. Okay, and that is what you will do. You will create this book, these series of books. When you do that, they're saying when you do this, what's going to happen is when this starts coming out in you, you're going to get the general story. Okay, you're going to get the whole story generalized all in one. Okay, so you're going to understand what the whole concept of what happened was. And then once you get that whole concept, then you can start working on, right, let's start at the start. How did this all begin? And then start working your way through it. And as you do that, then you're going to get step by step, each book at a time. You won't feel it coming as a book. You'll just get it as information, and then you'll be able to split it up into books. They want you to recognize that. Don't jump too far ahead. You can't jump ahead with this. You have to start at the start and start writing about it from the start and work that way. You can't try and jump ahead. Even if you know the whole story, you can't be like, oh, well, I wonder what happens later on then and how that happened. You can't do it that way. You have to, you're going to get the general story first, then you'll start at the start, and then you'll start working your way slowly through it. And when I mean you're working your way slowly through it, you're going to start writing it all out. Okay. This will turn into something. It'll be like I said, it'll be a huge story. It'll be an epic story. Okay. Don't worry about getting things wrong with that. Just keep going. Okay. Just keep working your way all the way through it. It may be that you'll change some bits later on, but don't worry about the accuracy in the beginning. You just write it all out. Okay. And that's how you're going to get your flow going. There's a huge story to this. There's so much depth in this story. It is a massive, massive, massive story. Okay. That's not to say that you have to write out 100 books to get this story conveyed. But as you're writing it, you'll start to realize how huge this actually is, how massive it actually is. Now, it may be as well that when you write it out, that you may need assistance in some ways of getting this out. But that is all part of the life journey, or the journey that you're taking. Okay. Recognize that people will come to you when they need to come to you. Okay. And if you're feeling like you need assistance with any parts of this in any way, you can let the guides know, because the guides are all there ready to help you, and they will organize things for you, and they will bring things to you, people or events or situations. They just say, okay, that's enough. That's enough for them to say just now, and they want to know what you want to say.
It's okay for this time. Can you connect to this? Lucifius is a name. It's like a small short story I just write for the phone many years ago, and it's about a kind of rogue demon.
Okay, so it's Lucifius, and it's a rogue demon.
Yeah, Lucifius, yeah.
Lucifius, okay. So this demon, is this like a neutral, or is it a negative or a positive being?
I think it's positive now. I think he started in the negative, and now he chose to be positive.
Okay, then we'll see. I'll see what it is when it comes through. I don't mind either way. I just wanted to get some feel for it. Okay, so
yeah, sure. Yeah, if you're not sure, then you can use help another entity to for that.
Oh yes, okay. I should be able to do this. One moment. Yes, I'm here now.
I just want to know if what the connection I have, why I connect to you, and what kind of information you can bring about this connection.
Why it is we had connected is because we had a connection in another lifetime. That connection in that lifetime was very strong. And you learnt many things in that lifetime from me and from others also. And so you're looking to reconnect in this lifetime, for there are more lessons, there is more understandings for you to get from me. And that's why we reconnected. There's information that's been given to you already, which you're not quite aware of just yet. There were some battles that we were involved in, you could say. There were disagreements, yes. And there were disputes, yes. And that is much of what you had learnt in that lifetime that we shared together. It was about disputes and about war and about all these disagreements that people can have. You are learning how to involve yourself in it without becoming too involved. It's something that happens here on your planet now. There is many disputes here. There are many disagreements on individual levels and on group levels. And to get sucked into these can have a dramatic effect upon individuals or groups or entire species. You had learnt in that lifetime how to not get sucked in. You had learnt in that lifetime how to be a part of it, but not get sucked into it. Not to allow it to involve you too much. This is something that will assist you a lot in this lifetime that you're in now. So the lessons are coming back through.
Which species is this lifetime?
Oh, the lifetime that you had shared with me. One moment. I am what you would recognize to be an energy being. Not so much physical as you are, but more of an energetics, more in an energetic sense. Now, there are times when I can take on an physical form, what would appear to be physical. Although from my perspective, it is an energetic form.
Okay.
You are doing that right now, although you're not aware of it. You are an energy form. And so in the lifetime that we had shared, you were also an energy form. There were different appearances that you would take on, depending upon what species we were interacting with. It was a great species. It was a great time of learning in this lifetime that we shared together. We were not residing upon one singular planet, but we would reside on many different ones, depending on where the action was. Because that is what we were attracted to. We were attracted to the disagreements. We were attracted to the wars. And we did, yes, study them and involve ourselves in them in some ways. But as has already been said, we involved ourselves without becoming so involved. And that is what we were learning in that lifetime. The reasons why people choose these disagreements, these wars, disputes. We were learning the way that these things can be resolved. We had to experience many disputes, many disagreements for us to understand it fully. And we had to understand this as many different species to come to a fuller understanding of it. For all species have a different perspective on things. So for us to gain the fuller understanding, the fuller perspective of it, we had to shift ourselves to mimic the appearance of different species, depending upon which planet we were on at that time. Were we positive or negative? You may be wondering. We would say we were neither. We would say we were purely intellectual beings. We had no judgment on what it was that people were doing. We only were there for our own personal understandings, our own personal gains, and our own personal growth. It's up to individuals what they do with their lives, with their societies, with their groups, with their species. And so it is. And we studied that. And we learned from that. And we grew.
Okay. Thanks to accept to connect to us,
Yes.
to me in some way. You can bring back now.
Okay.
At this point. Thanks. Do you need to take water before jump to another thing?
No, that's okay, Mark. I can switch between them in a minute. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, if you need me to go to somebody else, yeah, just say whilst I'm channeling, and they'll just another one will just come through. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I will try with Marcel. Supposed to be angel protector.
Angel protector. Okay, Marcel.
Yeah. She's supposed to have a beach boot on the legs.
One moment, please. Yes, I am here now. Oh, thank you for asking me to come through.
Welcome. Did you have a message you wish to share at start?
Yes. The message I would give to you is to be more free in your heart, or to allow it to be free, for your heart is wishing that. There are many challenges that you've been through, of course. There are many more to follow, of course. By allowing your heart to be nice and free, you will flutter over these challenges like hurdles, which you're floating above. The challenges will still be there, but you will be able to maneuver over them nice and peacefully and effortlessly. We would ask you, Mark, what are the aspects of your life which you are finding the most challenging and that you wish to maneuver in a much more effortless way? Is there some aspect of your life which you would like to discuss, or you would like for us to help you to resolve in any way?
At start, I can look if few entity have message to share.
The messages as we have given are to be more free within yourself, to have less restriction upon yourself and what you're allowing yourself to partake in. There are many paths that you can be taking, but you're not taking right now. And these are paths which feel true in your heart. we would say move towards them. We would say less restriction. We would say allow yourself to float up and float towards these things which you resonate towards. If there's something that you wish to ask us, you may ask.
Do other entity have message that need to be delivered?
One moment. There are messages from the elemental kingdom that wish to be heard. These are messages regarding the information that you have within you that was discussed earlier. If you wish for them to come through, if you wish for them to be heard, I can allow them to come in now. If there's a different entity which you would prefer, then you can ask for this different entity, and we will open the door up for that entity to walk in.
Okay. Okay.
One moment, please. Yes, I am one of the Elven Elders.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the one that's come to speak to you now. When we convey important information, it's the elders that bring this information always. For the elders in our society are highly respected. We are the ones who hold the histories of our species. If you wish for it to be, I will be the one that will work with you on helping you recover this information that you have within you. There's also information that I have, which I can give to you regarding these times which you know of. You must recognize that these times were very, very, very hard times for many of the elemental species and the elemental kingdom. There are still open wounds there that have to be sealed. And we understand you to be one of the ones that is aiding and assisting in sealing up these wounds. There will be others who will come and will speak with you on these events which took place. But please recognize that some of these individuals that come to speak are still affected from these times. And some of them will be, in your terms, they will be suffering from what you would call trauma.
Mm-hmm.
The name that you can use for me. One moment, please. One moment. One moment. Retaka.
Retaka. You call your species elder?
We are the elven species. The elves.
Okay, elf.
There are many different types of elf. we regard ourselves to be the Grand Elves. And I am one of the elders of the Grand Elves. The reason that we regard ourselves as the Grand Elves is because we are the oldest elven species. That's why I am the one that is conveying this information to you.
Okay.
For we hold the bulk or the vastness of the histories of the elementals. We are the guardians of it. And the nature is the library, you could say. So as myself and you start to connect more, the information will start to be released from us and from yourself also. Take your time with the process. It's not something that should be rushed. For if you try to rush the process, you will miss important information. It must come at a certain pace, and you must move with the pace that it comes. For you to try and move faster than the pace that it comes, would be to not tell the complete story. Soon, very soon, this information will start to flow to you. And it's important for you to start to let it flow through you. So, by taking notes or recording this in whichever way you feel appropriate, that's what we would recommend to you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you give me a short description or information about the light guiding table I received March 26th and this name?
Please repeat the name of this.
Light guiding table.
One moment, please. I'll have to connect more with the guides to... One moment. This is something to do with a transport ship, with navigation. This light guidance, this light guiding table is a navigational instrument that is used in transportation upon ships.
Okay.
This is not something that I personally know about, but this is something that your guides, they know more about. One moment. They're downloading.
I don't necessarily need much information. I was just...
Okay, very good.
I have a short idea of what is it.
Yes, you have information on how to use this, and it seems that it appears that you do this in the astral. You are learning how to use this in the astral.
Okay. So I guess if I tell you for the name Table of Light meeting, it's completely different thing.
One moment. This is not something we are connecting with, and this is not something that we know of.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. Did you have one more thing you wish to add to this, to your message?
One moment. There are changes that are taking place there within you already.
Yeah.
Well, it takes you to make these changes, to allow these changes to fully manifest. So we would encourage you to move in the direction that your heart desires, and to allow yourself to do these things which you really are excited in doing. One moment. I don't feel that you're being restricted by others. For restriction from others is only restriction from yourself.
Okay.
You have the ability to achieve, to accomplish the things that you're setting out to accomplish. So don't feel fear that you cannot achieve these things. Set out on them full-heartedly. And do not look to the future to see where these things will go. Just be in the moment and be in the now and do what you feel like doing in the now. It's not about what these things achieve. It's about what you are doing, how your vibration is in the now. The way that you keep your vibration it's most positive in the now is by following the things that you desire and following the things that excite you. This is how you function on the most efficient way in your reality. So not look forward to see what may happen, because this is just a falsity. This is just a projection of your mind. What is true and what is constant is the now. So be in the now and stay here and choose what you want here.
Okay. Before I let you go, can you tell me about what the perspective we have, the young guy which I had interaction Friday around 8-9 p.m. Name is Jeremy. What is perspective about me?
One moment. Yes, I feel like there was some confusion there on both parts. You're not seeing things from the way that the other person sees it. You're not quite seeing it the way the other person sees it. One moment. Was there some disagreement or some dispute that you had, the two of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because this was, yeah, they just told me. So one moment. They're talking about, they're saying it comes into the belief systems. You have very different belief systems, and the belief systems are clashing with one another. So one moment. It's not that he's a negative person, this individual. It's not that he's setting out to be negative. This person, he's just, he has a very, very strict viewpoint on things. And anything that challenges that, he becomes very defensive of it. As his perspective of things is very different is very, very unique. Now, everybody has unique viewpoints, but his is very different from most. And that makes it, one moment, that makes it more, one moment, it's tapping again. That makes him protect it much more.
Okay. What is
you don't feel that he's negative, that he's got negative, he's working for negative beings or anything of this sort, because that's not the case. It's just that he has a very strict viewpoint and he defends it.
Okay. What is it possible to know what is his main direction he chose for this life?
His main direction. One moment. They just said that he's seeking enlightenment, but he's seeking enlightenment in a multitude of ways. Okay? Well, let me see what they say, how they expand on that. It seems like this incarnation, it's tied in with a lot of other incarnations, and it's like he's splitting himself out, exploring many different things to gain enlightenment in another incarnation. Okay. There's another incarnation where he gains enlightenment through what he's learned in this lifetime here. So, a moment. There's some things he has going on with his family that are very, very challenging for him.
Mm-hmm.
They'll not say exactly what it is, but
does he choose to awaken this time? in this lifetime?
They said yes, he will have an awakening. He will go through awakening process, but they said awakening is different for every person. It's very, very different for each person.
How much?
On the outside, it may seem the same, but it's very different.
How many years that's probable awakening happen?
He's got some challenges to go through first. I feel like it's not something that's going to happen in the next year or two. It's like quite a bit away. There's some things he wants to explore first before he does that.
Okay. In some way, even if we had, I don't know the word in English for that, about the conflict we had, the short conflict we had together. Does that thing will tint the relation between us, or will probable doing stupid thing for me?
Okay, that's up to you. It's not up to him. It's up to you. It's about the way that you handle this, because you have the control over the entire reality. You have control over this. It's about he will change. If you put your hand out to him, he'll take it. And it's when you are talking with this individual, you have to work with the belief systems that he has. You have to work around them because he is very strict with them. So if you want to build a good relationship with him, you have to work. You have to recognize that his beliefs, you can't challenge his beliefs. You have to work with them, okay? And it's about, if you want to help him, it's about supporting him, not changing his beliefs because he's not ready to change them just yet. So it's about supporting him and where he is, okay? And there's ways of sharing your point of view without imposing it on his beliefs. You can share this is what I believe, and even though I know that others believe other things, this is what's true for me, and I'm not saying it has to be true for everybody else, but it's what's true for me. And when you say things in this way, it's much more easily for him to accept it then, because this individual, he enjoys a challenge to his beliefs, because when he has a challenge to his beliefs, it allows him the opportunity to reinforce his beliefs, because then he can refuse it, which reinforces his beliefs. It makes his beliefs stronger within himself. So if you don't challenge his beliefs and you offer him a different point of view without it being challenging to what he believes, then he's much more willing to take it. If it's not something that is put on his plate, it's something that's on your plate, and he can look at what's on your plate, he might just decide, oh, in fact, I'm going to eat what he's having. And then he'll put some of that food on his. This is the better way to do it, is just to let him see, but not to ask him if he wants any. Okay? This is the best way that you can help that individual.
Okay. Thanks for that.
You're very good. Is there any more questions or any more beings that you wish to speak with?
Does my main guide Daos have something to share?
Okay, what kept them feeling like? It's like they're happy for you. They're happy with the direction you're moving in, but they want you to move faster. It's like they wanted you to move faster, and they were. What I heard them saying is they're looking at ways. They are looking at ways of doing that. They didn't say it quite in those words, but they're looking in ways of doing that, of speeding up the direction that you're moving in. But the direction's right. It's the speed of it that they want to increase, and there's work being done to do that, to speed all that up. So,
okay,
right, okay. Oh, yeah, I do usually channel like that now. Usually I keep myself conscious. I usually don't let them speak right through me, but they wanted to do it that way that time, so I was happy to do like that. Yes, it's a wee bit, because it's actually easier for me sometimes if I do it consciously, if I say it the way I want to say it, instead of letting them say it the way they want to say it. that elven elder, when he came through, he had like this sort of hat thing on, and it went over. It's sort of, oh god, it was like something you would wear. I don't know. It was pointed. It went like this. It was like this metal hat that went like this.
Okay.
And then it came down to about here, and it went round like that. It was like something you would see in medieval times, like them wearing
Like
war or something like that.
Like the how is said that in the Lord of the Ring, the king, I don't know the name of the king, which are like the spirit. I think they have Atlas, something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah, I think that's right. I seen they've got something like that in that movie. Yeah, that's right. They've got something like that. That's how I saw. That's how I felt him. But he wasn't tall. I felt like he was. Yeah, I don't feel like he was the same height as us. Maybe just a little bit shorter. Elemental, and he was like. He didn't feel. How can I put it? Some of the elementals, they feel very like blah 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 blah, and they're all like. He didn't feel like that. He was very like sort of serious, and I could feel he had like a lot of information, like a ton of knowledge. Yeah. I don't know if they conveyed that right during it, but like they hold all the information for all the like that species. What were they were elves. That species of elves. They hold all the history of the elemental kingdom because they were the oldest ones. They hold all the knowledge, they hold all the history, and that's why. See, it's easier for me to say stuff sometimes than it is them for me to say it my way. But anyway, yeah, that would be good if you can connect with him. You'll get a lot of information coming through.